set by Bob Hanna. And notice Damon Bradshaw also had 19 victories on a Yamaha. Do you expect the contenders here tonight to step it up?
Well, normally I would say I expected that, but I feel it tonight. There's something about it. After watching the practice sessions and then thinking about what's happened in the past couple of rounds, Carmichael has proven he has consistency, but then that bad finish last week with a crash in the first corner, I think he's going to come in here with a little bit more fire. I know Villeman has to come in here with more fire if he plans on winning this championship. So, yeah, I think these guys are going to step it up.
And with the 6-time champion is our Davey Coombs.
Right here he is, Jeremy McGrath. Jeremy, we're almost the halfway point of the season. What kind of grade would you give yourself at this point?
Well, most of the races I'd give myself an A, but I think considering I let myself slide one away in Phoenix, I would give myself probably B+.
What about tonight here at Georgia Dome? We've got some red Georgia clay. The track looks really tricky.
Yeah, the track is going to be tough because it's going to be hard to do 20 hard laps in the same line. The clay here is really awesome and tacky dirt, but it changes so much throughout a race that it's going to take a smart, patient rider tonight, I think.
We'll look forward to seeing if you can make it 4 in a row.
All right, I hope so. Thanks. I'd like to let these guys think about it on the week off.
We've got a track of red Georgia clay, David Bailey.
And that's the thing that really makes this place interesting because the soil is so sticky. I think we're going to see a lot more mistakes tonight than usual. There's the long start. It makes a left and goes all the way to the top of the right side of your screen into a hard right. Kind of a tricky rhythm section and a whole straightaway across the bottom there. No one's really figured that one out yet except Jeremy McGrath. Then they come back over the first triple and go backwards all the way across the starting line. Across the top, another triple, that long whoop section onto the finish. Now, something they've done a little different tonight that I like is in that starting line, they've got 2 jumps. They're not high, just enough to sort of make it interesting on the start. They don't look like much from up here, but when you get down close, you really got to think about how to negotiate that while you're looking for 4th gear on the start.
Yeah, more than a speed bump in a parking lot, that's for sure. The 250s have 2 qualifying heats where the top 4 riders get a transfer to the main event. Even Jeremy McGrath in this game, ladies and gentlemen, has to qualify. The rest of the field goes to the semis where the top 5 qualify for the main. And then the last to get the choice of gate positions come out of the last chance qualifier with the 2 top riders getting into the money, rounding out the 20-rider field. The 250s at the gate for our first qualifying round right now. Get nervous time as we take a look. Number 5, Mike LaRocco, who's in this first 250 heat. David Villen, the 2-time winner, is also in this heat, along with Sebastian Tortelli, Damon Huffman, who had a podium performance last week, John Dowd, and Larry Ward of Team Suzuki. The veteran privateer, Kyle Lewis, Greg Schnell, who's a 125 West rider, trying his chances here in the 250s. Isaiah Johnson, Jason Thomas, the Iron Man. We're set to go for our first qualifying round of 250s.
Villeman again, he's got those starts nailed.
And a little bit of carnage right behind him.
That's Tortelli. Jeff Stanton right there to help him get going. He's got his work cut out to try to make the main out of this.
David Villeman in first place. And John Dowd, number 16 on the Kawasaki, in second as we take another look at that start and the problems that were created, David Bailey.
Well, Villeman controlled it all the way in, but right there in the middle of the pack, flipping, looked like Schnell and Tortelli got together, and that started the
63 Schnell, Tortelli number 21.
See how quick Jeff Stanton got over there to try to get that bike point in the right direction.
Remember, the top 4 make it to the main event. After John Dowd, number 16, we've got Mike LaRocco, number 5, and Damon Huffman, number 20. That's the real battle right there for 3rd.
I think if I was Huffman, I'd feel pretty good about coming here off of a 5th and then a 2nd last or a 3rd last week, almost a 2nd. And then his only win was here. Got to be something about this place that he's looking forward to.
Mike LaRocco in 1995 also had a win here in Atlanta. In fact, it was 1995 at Pontiac was the last Supercross win for number 5. But Damon Huffman is trying to put the rush right now on Mike LaRocco. In 1997, he got the whole shot here and led every lap to score his lone Supercross victory so far. LaRocco doing the job of the whoops, David.
No problem. Just opened up that gap. Now he doesn't have to worry about Huffman again. Even if he catches him, it would take probably the whole lap till they get back to that whoop section, and he'll just pull away again. It's always nice to have that. Whoa, Huffman getting a little squirrely there, but these guys grip the side of the bike. It's just like a guitar player closing his eyes and knowing right where his hands are on the neck. These guys just land right back on the pegs.
Kyle Lewis is on the bubble as we take a look at Mike LaRocco in third. John Dowd, very impressive in second place, as Villeman is our leader here in the opening qualifier for the 250s.
John's got the speed. I think he's really struggled with starts. You know, he keeps getting caught in first turn pileups, and this time he finally gets away and he's able to show his skill.
LaRocco, number 5, his worst finish of the season was a 7th place last week. He got hung up behind RC in that first turn crash, had to pull his bike back and get back on and get back into the race, so he had to come back from 16th to get that 7th place finish last week.
Mike not really able to. Oh, the leader Villeman there as they approach. That's what the flags are for. Villeman.
Yellow flag signaling. Villeman just getting back on his bike as you see Damon Huffman going by. The restart of the 934 Yamaha. So he is still in a transfer position in 4th.
He's going for that triple. We just saw Travis Pastrana doing that on the 125. He comes up a little bit short. Not a bad fall. He's able to just get right back up and keep going, but John Dowd inherits the lead, and this ought to feel good for him.
Number 16 is our new leader as we take a look at Villeman trying to get back into the action. He's currently in 4th and has got a pretty good position there with Kyle Lewis quite a ways back in 5th. John Dowd, our leader, won here on a 125 in 1996. Look at Villeman. He's so talented as we go to our leader, number 16, John Dowd. Last week, he had his first single-digit finish at 9th. John Dowd I'm speaking about, our leader. We'll be right back.
Hey, welcome to the Suzuki Fest 2000 Deli. Care to try a new Suzuki motorcycle with $400 free accessories? I suggest the Katana 750 or 600 and a helmet. The Bandit 1200 and 600 are house favorites and go great with leather jackets. Today's special is the GS 500E with a side of gloves and a helmet. Everything's good, even the financing, like 0 down, low APR, and low payments on selected models.
Come into Suzuki Fest 2000 today. Free accessories, great financing. Offers end April 30th.
All right, so what do you like?
Someday, at a job interview, they'll ask, do you work well under pressure? Try not to laugh.
To accomplish everything you need to do on the ground, often you have to spend time in the sky. Fortunately, what you do both places can help you get where you really want to go. Just get the Delta Sky Miles credit card from American Express, giving you American Express service on the ground and Delta Airlines service in the sky.
You can apply now, right over the phone. Just call 1-800-SKY-MILE.
With the Delta Sky Miles credit card, every dollar you spend gets you a Delta Sky Mile. And when you buy your Delta ticket with it, you gain even faster. You get 1.5 Sky Miles for every dollar you spend. Plus, when you apply now, you receive 5,000 bonus Sky Miles automatically with the card. And of course, you'll get American Express service worldwide.
Call 1-800-SKY-MILE and apply now. We can take all the information in just a few minutes.
Call today. The sooner you get the Delta Sky Miles credit card, the sooner you can get someplace you really want to go.
Toyota Trucks presents EA Sports Supercross is being brought to you by Honda, maker of the all-new Rancher, built for the ranch we call Earth. By Toyota Trucks, unbreakable every day. And by Suzuki. During Suzuki Fest 2000, get $400 worth of free accessories and great financing on selected models. Welcome back to Atlanta, Georgia. Heat number 1 of the 250 qualifying Supercross is underway. Number 16, John Dowd, is on his way right now to his very first heat victory of the season. Number 934, David Villeman, was our leader, went down and has fought his way back.
That section he just went through is where he went down. Watch what he's doing here. He hits that, well, he didn't do it that time. He's been hitting that little bump and jumping off over into the corner, much faster line. That's where he's able to make up a lot of his time. But that time, LaRocco did it and he didn't.
So it's Dowd, LaRocco, and Villeman are ordered here in our opening qualifier.
Still a great ride for Villeman to open up the big lead he had. I was about to talk about John Dowd riding a fine race in second, but a lonely second because Villeman was so far ahead he went down, but he's made up a lot of that time. You can see Dowd now.
And there's Mike LaRocco as the white flag is waving. Final lap underway. Dowd, LaRocco, Villeman, Huffman.
There you can see how close. That's the triple where he fell. We saw Dowd get through there and come up a little bit short. As long as you're ready for that, it works. Sometimes these guys accidentally land with their foot on the rear brake. And it just stops them dead. They go over the handlebars. That could have been a little bit of Villeman's problem.
Villeman working hard, digging to keep Huffman behind him now.
See that little kick that Villeman got as he approached that corner. Oh, Dowd is down. That's what the flags are for.
So number 16 goes down, and LaRocco is our leader with Villeman in the second place, and Villeman's got a shot now maybe to take the lead. Final turn. The checkers are out for Mike LaRocco, our first qualifying 250 winner. Villeman right there, Huffman in third. Who will take fourth? It looks like Tortelli.
Watch what happens. That looks a lot like what we saw Pichon do here a number of years ago. He just stepped right through.
Except Pichon was about 80 feet higher.
Yeah, a little worse, but that was actually pretty good thinking by John. I'm sure Jeremy, his mechanic's going to be like, great, thanks a lot. Because he's going to have to probably put some new handlebars on that thing, but he's okay.
That was a great break for Tortelli, though, as LaRocco, Villeman, and Huffman were in front of him. And Tortelli is able, as we see here, the Suzuki EA Sports Supercross results page, Tortelli's able to qualify. Kyle Lewis will have to go on to the semifinal along with the rest of the riders. Let's go down to Davey Coombs now.
Well, Mike, it wasn't winning pretty, but hey, it was winning.
No, actually, you know, like I was saying, for me to win a heat race riding that tight, it feels good. Maybe tonight's my lucky night. I get a good gate pick, hopefully get a good start and have a good race in the main.
You had some real good races at the beginning of the year, and that seemed like you kind of settled into a groove. What do you got to do to snap out of it? Win a heat like that?
Actually, I've just had some bad luck. I honestly, you know, I hurt my shoulder in Phoenix, and that took a little bit of struggle. And last week in Pontiac, I just had a bad, you know, some bad luck getting knocked down. But I still feel good on the bike. I think I'll be all right tonight.
John Dowd crashing out of the lead, now on his way to the semifinals.
Good thing he stepped through those handlebars. If he'd have stayed with the bike, chances are he'd have just gotten drilled right into the face.
As we see LaRocco take the checkers, Jeremy McGrath and Ricky Carmichael, who incidentally won his very first 125 Supercross win here in Atlanta, will face off next in heat number 2.
We love to watch TV. So when I heard all this stuff about how satellite TV is better than cable, I thought, great. Not so great. For instance, additional outlets. With cable TV, they don't cost much at all. With satellite TV and a separate receiver for each set, that could cost a bundle. And get this, we're responsible for service and installation. Our cable company has been providing guaranteed service for years. Satellite TV, no thanks. We'll keep our cable.
Cable TV, the best value in home entertainment.
We're here at Sterling Chevrolet with a little pop quiz. What Chevy dealer has a huge selection of new and used vehicles? And what Chevy dealer guarantees their pricing so that if you find a lower price, they'll refund 110% of the difference? And who's the only Chevrolet dealer with a mascot? You tell them, Tahoe, speak. Okay, mascot and trainer. The answer to all your questions is Sterling Chevrolet, 1/2 mile west of Drainesville Road on Route 7 in Sterling, Virginia.
Tonight on ESPN at 6 SportsCenter. Then Championship Week rolls on. At 7, the MCC Championship. At 9, the Sun Belt Final. Then Baseball Tonight opens the season. On ESPN2 at 7 RPM tonight. At 7:30, Women's College Hoops, the Big East Championship. Followed at 9:30 by the Men's Mid-Continent Conference Final. And on ESPN Classic at 8, look back at the greats of the gridiron. Then at 9, it's Sugar Ray's Hit Parade, followed by Evil Knievel on Wide World of Sports. Do you have all the ESPN networks?
Welcome back as the heat number 2 of the 250s is underway with McGrath, Carmichael, Wyndham, Ferry, Voss, Waugh, and others. Jeremy McGrath has taken the whole shot and the lead, but he's got a great challenge from RC. Ricky Carmichael, number 4, bar to bar. Sebastian Waugh in 3rd, Ferry in 4th, Wyndham in 5th. But it's Jeremy McGrath out in front now, taking the lead. Boy, that shot gives you an idea of the tremendous height they get off the triple. McGrath looks like he has another challenge now. RC mounting up to make a pass.
He's always able to get around Ricky in that first lap, it seems like, and Ricky rides just as fast as Jeremy, but that's not going to cut it if you plan on winning the race. And Jeremy always does that in the first lap. He catches Ricky just sleeping just a little bit too much, opens up his lead, and then just rides Ricky's pace. It's a great strategy, and it's worked so far.
McGrath starting to pull a lead now on Ricky Carmichael, and behind Carmichael, Wyndham past Ferry and Sebastian Waugh to get into 3rd. But it's still Ferry and Waugh in that order. And those two will do battle for the final transfer spot.
Jeremy pulls a tear off, stretches that lead even more. I mean, the guy demoralizes his competition in a matter of a lap and a half or two. I mean, what's Kevin got to be thinking? He's a whole straightaway behind, and this race is brand new.
Team Kawasaki's Ricky Carmichael, number 4, looking to recover from the double-digit finish last week. Team Honda's number 14, Kevin Wyndham in 3rd. Tim Ferry in 4th. Wyndham through the whoops. Kevin posted 2 third-place finishes in the first 3 races, but since then has had his problems. He had a good practice session this morning.
Well, Kevin looked great out there in practice, but he's looked like that just about every round this year. So I just look to see if Kevin can stay relaxed. And last week in the main event, he did. He stayed relaxed and was actually passing guys up towards the end, and he hasn't done that in a little while, so it should help him tonight. Now behind Jeremy, you see all that gap. Nobody even in the picture. There they go. It's going to get tight. Kevin looks like he's closed that gap on Ricky.
Carmichael, number 4. Last week, taking a hard crash in practice after 3 consecutive consistent races. A first turn crash gave his building program a big setback. He came back, though, 10 spots after getting up off the dirt there in Pontiac.
Right now, Jeremy's turning 54 second lap times. These guys together about 56.5. That's huge. That's why Jeremy almost has this entire straightaway on these guys already. That'll mess with these guys' heads when they get through with this race and sit back there and review tapes before the main event. They're going to be thinking, how am I going to go any faster? I know these guys are maxed out, and they're just losing a second and a half a lap.
Ricky Carmichael in his first full 250 season after that all-time great 125 career is trying to hold off Kevin Wyndham.
Not easy to do. You know, you see Jeremy getting that little kick around, and people have talked about how Carmichael is a lot shorter and it's harder for him to get to the whoop section. Well, Jeremy, if you look at his physique, he's got a fairly lower waist, and so if you measure his legs versus Carmichael's, I bet you there's not that much difference, and Jeremy gets through there no trouble.
Jeremy McGrath continues to dominate. More Toyota Trucks presents EA Sports Supercross coming up.
Used to be, you could customize any part of your bike except the tires. But now, create a striking design from the ground up with the bold new Cruise Max from Dunlop. Performance and style with custom options like classic black, wide white, or raised white leather. Whichever design you choose, you'll make a statement without saying a word. Cruise Max from Dunlop.
Welcome to egghead.com. Going sideways. Folks, this is the Cybervader. It guides you through the computer store inside your computer. 11th floor, where the biggest computer brands are always on sale. Virtually speaking. Going diagonal, auctions hard to find items, and the Love Lounge? Oops, someone's mouse is wandering. Egghead.com, the computer store inside your computer.
The world's top pros are back with the drama, the thrills, and the passion of tennis on ESPN and ESPN2. This week, Tennis Masters Series, Indian Wells. Coverage begins Monday at 3 on ESPN.
John LeClaire and Peter Forsberg are prototypes for today's game, winning battles in the corners, possessing incredible finesse in the open ice, and finishing plays in the crease. Flyers Avalanche, Sunday at 8, only on ESPN. This is the game.
Back in the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, Georgia, EA Sports Supercross. Jeremy McGrath now lapping lappers. Just phenomenal ride, David.
Amazing. Still turning 54-second lap times. He hasn't gone above that since I've started paying attention to it. And you look at him, he just doesn't make any mistakes. Doesn't mess any of his timing up. Right there, he decided, you know what, the inside doesn't work as good. I'm going to go to the outside. That's a line he's got figured out.
Looks back at the lapper. The battles for second place right now. There's Ricky Carmichael approaching a lapper. And behind him is Kevin Windham.
Yeah, it looked like Windham had closed that gap pretty quick, and I thought this might be a pretty good fight, but it looks like Carmichael either turned it up a little bit or Kevin could be riding a little bit tight. You heard LaRocco in the first heat saying he rode a little bit tight.
You're hearing our play-by-play coverage, of course, on ESPN2, but you can hear all of the Pace-produced Supercross races live on the webcast, courtesy of PaceSupercross.com. Final lap is underway. Order remaining the same. Jeremy McGrath a few miles ahead of Ricky Carmichael and Kevin Windham.
You know, what happens is he's so awesome. He doesn't show any weaknesses. He might mess with these guys in practice a little bit, but when the gate drops and it counts, he just doesn't show any flaws, no weakness. And so what happens, these guys end up standing on the podium at the end of the night with a second or third going, yeah, I feel good. I'm making progress, you know. But that's not catching or doing any harm to Jeremy McGrath.
Well, I had a pretty good feeling about number 4 right here, Ricky Carmichael. And Ricky's holding his own in second. The checkers for Jeremy. The only qualifying heat he hasn't won was at Indianapolis when he took a second. Ricky Carmichael, number 4, coming over in second place, and Kevin Windham right behind him in third.
You can see a little hint of Carmichael just shaking his head in like disbelief that he lost by that much when he was riding that well.
Jeremy with a smile and a cough still is not over that flu bug. He really got hit hard with it.
Seems to work for him.
It sure does. Tim Ferry battled with the privateer Heath Voss, and it was Ferry coming out on top on the Honda results page. McGrath, Carmichael, Windham, and Ferry on their way to the main event. Davey Combs.
Jer, smooth and relaxed. You look fantastic in the heat race. Is the cold completely gone finally?
Yeah, I finally got a chance to train this week. Been talking to Gary every week. You know, we've been talking about what to do, and you know, the main thing was to rest. I got a few weeks rest there, and it was kind of good timing considering Daytona's coming and I can get healthy and get trained up for that.
I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but there's a little piece of history at stake in the main event. If you win, you're going to have the record as the winningest Supercross rider ever on a Yamaha, passing Bob Hurricane Hanna.
Well, it's nice to be joined in the likes of those guys, you know, Bob Hanna, Rick Johnson, David Bailey, Johnny O'Mara, all those guys. Brock Glover was a longtime Yamaha guy, and you know, all these things keep happening, all these records and stuff, and I don't even know it. It's up to you guys to figure them out, and I'm just trying to race my motorcycle.
Well, you're doing quite a good job of it. Listen, we'll let you get ready for the main event.
All right, thanks a lot, and hopefully I get another good start like that and, you know, lead all 20 laps again.
Hey, can I have your jersey?
Davey Coombs is humbled. Well, it's up to him to set the marks. It's up to us to tell you about it. EA Sports Supercross continues from the Georgia Dome after these words.
Rated E for everyone. Super Cross 101. Oops. Whoops. Superman. Medic. This power band poppin' on the pipe handlebar to handlebar lesson has been brought to you by Supercross 2000 and the letters EA Sports. It's in the game.
With Quikrete, there's nothing to be afraid of. Quikrete takes the fear out of working with concrete.
Championship week rolls on in the House of Hoops. Throw the records out. This season comes down to Tuesday. The Mid-Continent Conference Final. Championship week, presented by 7-Up. Tonight at 9:30 on ESPN2.
When the gate dropped for the Atlanta round of the 1990 Supercross Series, fans expected to see a great race. They got that and a whole lot more. It was, in fact, one of the greatest races of all time. Number 9, Johnny O'Mara led through turn 1, followed by Rick Johnson, number 13, Damon Bradshaw, number 8, number 1, Jeff Stanton, and Jeff Ward carrying number 3. Guy Cooper, rider number 4, was back in 7th. Damon Bradshaw drew first blood when he stole O'Mara's line in the right-hand hairpin. Behind Bradshaw, riders swapped positions like kids looking for Pokemon cards. The biggest charge belonged to Guy Cooper, rider number 4, who had moved from 7th to 3rd. When Stanton made this mistake, Cooper inherited second place. Then Cooper, looking for his first Supercross win, took the lead, sending Bradshaw back to 2nd. One corner past halfway. Cooper stalled to Suzuki. Bradshaw fired past, back in the lead, followed by Rick Johnson and number 11, Mike the Motocross Kid Kudrowski. A couple laps later, Kudrowski disposed of Johnson, made this attempt to pass Bradshaw. Cooper would regain the lead. Bradshaw was down and out, while Kudrowski ran off the track, collected a stream of banners, got back in the fight. That led to this. Johnson, meanwhile, was all over Cooper. Jeff Ward, number 3, was close behind in 3rd. Johnson then grabbed the tight line and with 4 laps remaining, took the lead. For the next 2 laps, Cooper hung tough, while Ward watched from 3rd place. What he saw was Cooper retake the lead. On the last lap, Cooper was poised to win his first Supercross of his career. But Ward, who had passed Johnson, upset Cooper's plan. Cooper would later say, "I had no idea he was there. I thought RJ was in 2nd, and I had him covered." Cooper pushed right up to the checkered flag, but it was Ward's win. Atlanta 1990, one of the greatest Supercross races of all time.
1990, another on the long list of great races here in Atlanta, and probably tonight's no exception, David Bailey. Heat number 1, Mike LaRocco doing a great job after David Villeman and John Dowd crashed out.
Well, you know, Mike said he was riding a little bit tight. I don't think he was really entirely happy with his lap times, but he knows that, you know, he's worked that out now, and the main event's going to be a different story. It's going to get a lot more rutted. He knows that mistakes like that are going to happen in the main. So riding a little bit more patient, bordering on maybe even a little bit too cautious, may pay off.
Villeman, of course, got back up and made it to the main event. John Dowd going on to the semifinal round. In Heat 2, Jeremy McGrath and Ricky Carmichael. What a matchup to start the race.
Well, you know, I thought Carmichael had the whole shot, as a matter of fact, but somehow, I mean, everyone got on the brakes for the first turn. Jeremy just kept right on going. looked like he stole that hole shot from Ricky, but he came back, made it close for a bit, and it surprised me when Jeremy actually squirted out into the lead. It was a jump where Carmichael should have gassed it and jumped that too, and could have prevented that, but I have a feeling Jeremy would have found a way around somewhere else.
One rider who's obviously missing is Greg Albertine, and with more on that story, our Davey Coombs.
Well, bad luck struck Greg Albertine in a big way in practice yesterday. Albertine suffered a broken femur bone, which is going to put him out for the rest of the Pace Supercross series. However, here's the good news. I actually went to see Greg at the hospital here in Atlanta today. He's in really good spirits. His wife flew back from California on the red eye last night to see him, and he says that he will be ready for the opening round of the Outdoor Nationals, which is the first week in May. So Greg is going to get a chance to wear that #1 plate, but we won't see him again in a stadium in the year 2000.
That'll be a courageous guy, and that's a tall order getting back that soon. Semi #1, 6 laps for the top 5 qualifying for the main team. Kawasaki's John Dowd, Larry Ward, as well as Jason Thomas, the Iron Man. They're off and running. Isaiah Johnson into turn 1 first.
Rider going down to Todd Downs.
Looked like Marco Dubé, yeah, and he collected Larry Ward along with him, so Larry just can't seem to buy a break right now.
Isaiah Johnson on the Honda, out in front, with a big battle on his hands right now for 112, Kyle Lewis, the veteran. Dustin Nelson in 3rd place, and Greg Schnell in 4th place, the West Coast 125 rider. Top 5 advance to the main event out of this one, as number 68, Isaiah Johnson out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, in the Planta Honda, is out in front.
Watch what happens. Larry Ward right there in the middle, just getting squeezed. Dubé going into the back of him in the handlebar. It looked like it got stuck up in the rear end of Larry's bike. See if you can tell better from the front. See, when John Dowd put his foot down in there, there was a lot of front wheels nearby. That's kind of nerve-wracking.
But John Dowd, speaking of him, has just moved into 5th place. Both Larry Ward and John Dowd of Team Kawasaki are in this semifinal.
And not looking good yet.
Ward is down in 10th.
As for John Dowd, who you mentioned before, in 5th, he's got Greg Schnell breathing down his neck. Just trailing this battle here.
68, Isaiah has qualified in the last 2 250 races. After working the 125 West Division, he had a 20th at Indianapolis and a 19th in Pontiac. So this would be a good feather of confidence in his cap right now.
Yes, it would certainly help. You get the feeling that each time these guys go around the corner before that whoop section, you're like, whoo, here we go again. It's the one section on the track where you can't really rely on timing or putting the bike in the right place, landing on the backside of something. You just got to bulldog it through there. It takes so much strength. The handlebars just want to rip right out of your hands if you don't get through there and stay up in the middle of the bike. Let it kind of work underneath you.
Isaiah Johnson had an outstanding year in the 125s last season. Had a hard time of it, though, in the 125 West with a 17th, 18th, 20th, and a disqualification. Failing to qualify, but right now he's trying to put it all together. Our first semifinal round will continue when we return to the Georgia Dome.
No down payment. Low financing on Honda Valkyries and Goldwings. Low payments on Valkyrie, Shadows, and Magnas with the Honda card. It's the road to savings. Incredible deals on some incredible Hondas. So hurry to your Honda dealer during the road to savings.
The road is calling. So's the boulevard, the street. And your Honda dealer's got what you need to answer them. Honda Shadows with incredibly low monthly payments and no down payment. Like the Shadow Spirit, just $129 a month. It's the road to savings. And it's going on right now at your Honda dealer. Answer the call.
If you're not a fisherman, you might think that Jim's a little crazy, that he's gone overboard. But fishermen understand. It's not just a pastime. It's a way of life. Like the tide, it controls everything they do. It's who they are and who they're with. And it's not just enough to say they love fishing. They're driven by it. eAngler.com understands. It features a world-class pro shop, guide services, travel, a complete newsstand, expert advice, and online licensing. It's the ultimate website dedicated to everyone who'd rather be fishing. Plus, call or log on to eAngler.com to enter the I Landed the Big One sweepstakes to win 4 exotic fishing trips around the world, a Ranger bass boat, and $65,000 in cash. So call or log on now and
catch it on eAngler.com.
We're back with more EA Sports Supercross from Atlanta, Georgia. It's the semifinal round. Isaiah Johnson, our leader. And here's a battle between 112 Kyle Lewis and number 16 John Dowd for second place. The top 5 advancing to the main event. That includes Greg Schnell, the 125 rider. Nelson doing a good job there in 4th.
Well, when you see Larry Ward there in 8th, he's having a tough time trying to work his way around those guys, and Dowd isn't having much better luck trying to get around Lewis either. He's looking inside and out, but Lewis has so far been pretty strong.
Lewis has gained top privateer honors at Indianapolis with the best result of any privateer this year in the main event when he took a 10th place finish. Here comes Dowdy. Oh, Lewis getting a little squirrely in the loops.
What's happening there? Number 1, as they're going to get the white flag. Dowd is stronger in the whoop section. He just has that confidence to go in there and muscle his way through on the tops. The problem for Kyle was he's running down the middle. That's starting to develop a rut. So if you're not straight in that, you got to deal with the side to side and the up and down.
A nice ride for John Dowd here in the semifinals. But what a ride it is for number 68, Isaiah Johnson, the privateer on a Honda.
Well, Dowd had the lead once tonight already and
crashed out.
Gave that up in the section they're approaching, as a matter of fact. And now he's got an opportunity to try to put that Kawasaki up there on the top spot. I'm sure big help for him right about now.
It's the last lap. John Dowd is trying for his 3rd semifinal checkered flag. Cuts to the inside. Isaiah Johnson, though, with the advantage, takes the checkered flag. What a race by that young man.
Not sure if Larry Ward was able to get into the main event out of this. I don't think so. But Isaiah's definitely in there.
So it's quite possible, yes, that Larry Ward will go on to the last chance qualifiers. We look at the Honda results page. Johnson, Dowd, Lewis, Dustin Nelson, who has not qualified for a race since San Diego, gets in there with a 4th place finish. And the 125er from the West Coast, Greg Schnell, in 5th. Let's go down to Davey.
All right, Isaiah, that was some veteran pressure behind you. John Dowd, but you squeaked it out the end.
Yeah, I knew he was back there, and I was just trying to ride a smart race and just race the track and not anyone behind me. This last couple weeks, I've had some bad luck of crashing whenever I shouldn't have, and just some real bad luck. But that time I was able to get a real good start, so hopefully I can do that. And just looking for 20 perfect laps in the main event, Davey.
Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Oh, there's absolutely nothing like seeing Supercross live. And we go next to Daytona, that festive bike week down there. Hard to forget that one. For those of you in the St. Louis area, we hit St. Louis on March 18th, the Trans World Dome, and then Minneapolis, Minnesota, and that's the 2nd round of the Vans Triple Crown. If David Williman wins that one and also the Las Vegas round, he pockets $500,000. Well, maybe you can't get to a Supercross, but Arena Cross and Ultra Cross also travel throughout the country this time of the year anyway. The Buddy Antonez going for the 4th consecutive crown in Arena Cross will stop in San Jose, Napa, Idaho, and Tacoma, Washington. And then the dates for Ultra Cross coming up: Wichita, Kansas, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Raleigh, North Carolina. Semi-2's on the line, and they're off and running. Heath Voss, Sebastian Waugh, Michael Craig, Shane King, Jason McCormick.
I should have bet that $50 on Grayson Goodman for the whole shot. That kid gets out of the gate so perfect every time.
Doesn't he? Number 65, Grayson Goodman out of Dallas, Texas, and Plano Honda. Right behind him is Michael Craig, who's won one Supercross several years ago in Tampa.
Mike Craig just dancing around that inside right there, slid the bike out. Looked like a mistake, but he turned it into a...
Here comes Craig, number 43, trying to put the challenge to Grayson Goodman. Goodman, a wonderful arena cross rider. Is known for those good starts. Michael Craig has already passed him now for first place. Number 36 is Jason McCormick, and 31 back behind Goodman is Jean-Sébastien Waugh.
It's just a jam up behind the leaders right now, going through that corner before the finish. They all jam up to the inside. Nobody can jump the double coming out, and Craig just pulls away more.
A good race underway for Michael Craig, who's had all kinds of injury problems in recent years. A Yamaha privateer coming into this race. Since failing to qualify for the first 3 races, he's made money in the last 4. He had to go to the LCQ in Phoenix to win it and get into the money game, but he did it.
There you see those start breakers they have for the start. These guys got to deal with those on the way back across the starting line the other way.
86 is Jimmy Neese in 5th place, and he is on the bubble. As far as transferring to the main event is concerned, James Pavoni is right behind him. That could be a good battle for the final transfer spot. Grayson Goodman, number 65. He was the Arena Cross champion, I believe, in '94. We'll be back with more semifinal action from Atlanta, Georgia, right after these important words.
Well, we're moving on now to the side. We finally got a piece of the pie. Now we're up in the big leagues, getting our turn at bat. Well, we're moving on up to the side. We finally got a piece of the pie.
Why Emmett Ray? Because he was interesting. Sort of pathetic in a way. He was flamboyant and obnoxious, and he was funny. To me, Emmett Ray was a fascinating character.
I'm Emmett Ray. I'm the greatest guitar player in the world.
If you want to see the best NCAA tournament games in history, then don't miss ESPN Classics Tournament Time Warp. Catch basketball's biggest stars before they made it big. Jordan, Barkley, Malone, all playing for a national championship. Get warped with Tournament Time Warp. Starts Sunday at 7 only on ESPN Classic. To get ESPN Classic and the greatest NCAA tournament games in history, call 1-800-CLASSIC today.
Welcome back to Atlanta, Georgia. Michael Craig's mechanic holding the board out, says +2 on it. You got a nice over 2-second lead on Jean-Sébastien Waugh. Number 43 is Michael Craig. We'd love to see a checkered flag here.
Look at these guys just getting bucked around through there. I mean, that's actually a pretty good run.
Jason McCormick in his first race back from injury. In 3rd position behind Sébastien Waugh. But this young man, there's Waugh, number 31, getting into the picture now.
Yeah, he's been gaining on him. He's putting himself into position and put a little pressure on Mike. And the last lap, when you got somebody breathing down your neck, you always ride a little tighter. He's trying to think where they're going to go and race not to lose. That usually works to the benefit of the guy behind.
Jean-Sébastien Waugh in 2nd place out of Montreal, Canada.
Mike made a good move back there and taking the inside. Waugh had to change his line. He lost all that time. So unless Mike blows it to this loop section right here, he should be able to cruise in this one, no problem.
Waugh is 2nd in the race for Privateer of the Year. He's won more than $6,700 in Pace Privateer bonus money this year. Here's number 43, headed for the checkered flag. Michael Craig gets a checkers this year with Sébastien Waugh right behind him. The final transfer spot, Grayson Goodman, number 65, and 86, Jimmy Neese, along with Heath Voss. So a great battle for that final transfer spot.
Heath Foss just rode right up through the middle of all that. Finished in 4th, it looked like, and he was a little disappointed as he went across the finish line.
And Heath Foss is the leading privateer in our series. So on the Suzuki results board, it's Michael Craig, Jean-Sebastian Waugh, Jason McCormick, Heath Foss, and Jim Neese making it into the final round. Let's go down to Davey.
Well, Mike, a good, solid ride in the semi. It's nice to have you back up on the podium.
Yeah, you know, I feel really good. My Moto World Yamaha, they gave me a chance to get back out here and show them what I got, and they believed in me. So I definitely owe all this to Brian and all the guys at Moto World. I don't know. I mean, I feel good every weekend. I think I'm getting better. I don't think I lost anything, but I've been off for a year, a little bit longer than that with the broken leg that took like 2 or 3 surgeries to fix. And no excuses. These guys are hauling butt. I mean, every race I pull off, I'm tired. So hopefully in the main event I go out there. All I want is the top 10. Get ready for the Outdoor Nationals, and that's what I'm looking for, the 125 right there.
Right, well, good luck in the main, Mike.
Thank you.
With the semifinals for the 250s now over and just a short last chance qualifier to go, we've got our field almost set for the 250s. It's Destination Las Vegas for the EA Sports Supercross Finals coming up. Our 125 shootout and the 250 finale can be seen live, in demand, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, this year. It's history in the making, David Bailey.
Oh, I can't wait for that. And every year I go to Vegas, all my friends are going, man, I wish I could go to that one. Well, you don't really have to. You can check it out live. 3 hours of coverage. What a treat.
And for under 15 bucks.
That's a good deal.
It is a great deal. And if you don't have cable, go to the Dish, DirecTV. When we return, expanded coverage of the sport's future superstars, the 125s, will be coming your way.
So you're Greg Albertine?
Yeah, I'm Greg Albertine, national motocross champion, but you can call me Albie. Gio's ever see me do a jump? Woo woo! I can fly, babies, yeah! When I'm up there, I'm the man! Ugh! So how about you two girls? And Albie.
Hey, look, it's Greg Albertine.
Another fantastic ride, Greg.
Thanks, Davey. Yeah, I felt really good out there. Cool clothing worked well and managed to get a hold of it.
Yeah, I'm Nathan Ramsey.
To unlock your body's potential, there is nothing better than Soloflex. All the standard strength training exercises, each one correct in form and balance. The original, still unequaled, Soloflex.
Well, considering the popularity of the swimsuit issues, the Sports Center swimsuit calendar seemed like an idea whose time had come. Sex sells.
Show me the sex. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
I don't want lotion. Get away.
Very sexy. Oh, yeah. Megan, give me the snakes, would you?
Snakes?
No, you're going to look sexy. It's going to look great.
You've got to be kidding me. We know what people like.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
Our Honda close-up for this week, 125 East Points leader Brock Sellards of FMF Honda.
The day I turned 4, my dad backed the van up and told me to go look inside, so it was a family sport. He started racing, and when he was done, my mom raced my brother and my sister, and I was the young one coming up.
Brock made a breakthrough winning his first 125 Supercross last year. It was a confidence builder for him.
I'm winning the East Coast right now, and that's where I wanted to be this year. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I'm really happy. The field is really stacked, and it just, so far I've been going the consistent route, but I think it's time to start winning. So I'm going out there and looking for some wins with these next couple weeks and try to get my points lead maybe a little bit bigger.
Brock Sellards, one of the young Honda support riders, this week's Honda close-up.
Getting ready for the first heat of 125 action. We've had 7 rounds, 7 different winners. Tonight, the 3rd round of the 125 East. Michael Brandes and Stefan Moncada have won the 2 previous rounds in the Eastern Division after 5 different winners in the West. 9 riders transfer to the main event out of this 8-lap qualifier for our first 125 racing action.
Favorites tend to line up the middle to the inside. Michael Brandis lined up right next to what we call the dog house in the middle, that little house that covers the mechanism that drops the gate.
We're ready to go for our first 125 qualifying heat from the Dome in Georgia. Nick Way, number 23, gets nudged out. And the Yamaha, Jeff Gibson, I believe, is in the lead.
He's got Tyler Evans right there on the inside.
That's Todd DeHoop, number 111. Tyler Evans, number 45. And Nick Way, number 23. 1, 2, and 3. Way in a battle bar to bar for second.
Way coming up short on the triple back there. Didn't seem to lose any time, but that's a heck of a jolt.
Roncada is in 12th position. There's Todd DeHoop, number 111, a privateer out of Michigan. Tyler Evans, number 45, makes the move into the lead. Tyler got on the podium in the opening round of 125 East action with a very steady ride. He started in 5th in Indy and ended up in 3rd on the podium, while crashes happened all around him. Nick Way moves into 2nd, behind Evans.
And just into that shot right there is Michael Brandis, the tail end of that lead group. He's not in danger of not making the main right here, but he'd like to probably get out front and run with Tyler and Nick Way, get the flow of it. I noticed Tyler just attacked practice this afternoon. He's been looking really sharp.
The rider flying down.
Can't tell who that is, but that's this rhythm section that's been giving these guys a lot of trouble this afternoon, especially later in the races when it starts to get rutted. Nick Way glances over his shoulder. Got a little bit of a gap now over 3rd place.
I think it was Jimmy Wilson, number 383, that went down prior, as we take a look at Nick Way, number 23, in pursuit of Tyler Evans. Let's check out another look of number 383 on the blue bike nearest to us.
Looks like he gets a little bit offline.
Chased it, went flying over the bars.
Yeah, I thought he might have
landed on him.
Landed on the edge of the racetrack there, but he just came up short, and that's the price you can pay if the timing's not spot on.
A 4-second lead for number 45 on the Suzuki, Tyler Evans.
Built that up pretty early. This triple, the 125s are getting over no trouble, but after these next couple of corners, the next triple, on the first lap, Tyler was the only one to do it. It's been really hard for the 125s to get enough momentum to clear this one coming up.
Tyler on a Demarina Suzuki in 1st place. Nick Way in 2nd. Paul Curry in 3rd. And we'll be right back with more 125 action from the Georgia Dome in Atlanta in a moment.
With a Suzuki RM under you and Team Suzuki behind you, there will be absolutely nobody in front of you. Just ask Suzuki's Greg Albertine, 1999 AMA 250 Motocross National Champion.
The King brothers, separated at birth. George King went to a family that subscribed to fishing magazines. James's family subscribed to the Wall Street Journal. 28 years later, George lives with his parents, while his brother James started a B2B web company and went public with a record first-day pop. Food for thought, especially since you can get 13 weeks of the Wall Street Journal for just 57 cents a day. That's 25% off the regular rate. Call 800-469-1600. That's 800-469-1600 for the Wall Street Journal.
The Rick, this is Sean with ESPN Fantasy Baseball. We only use stats from players in the AL and the NL. We do not accept stats from the RL, the Rick League. Stop faxing us your wiffle ball stats. You're jamming up our machine.
We're back at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, Georgia, for the first qualifying round of the 125s. Out of Salinas, California, number 45, Tyler Evans is our leader on the Demarine Suzuki. He has the lead over Nick Way and is starting to pull away a little bit right now. But our real battle is for 3rd. Between the first round of the 125 East winner, number 27, Michael Brandis,
Ron Cotta just jumping into the picture there over that triple.
So it's a three-way battle right now. A little case by Brandis. He's got Ron Cotta, number 26, right behind him.
I think Ron Cotta's able to jump that triple, get to the inside, just to bother Brandis a little bit, try to mess up his concentration before that whoop section. There he goes.
Ron Cotta tries to the inside. Makes the good clean break.
I think just having his presence there in that corner, Brandis glanced over and it just took him out of his rhythm.
The white flag, the final lap is underway. Tyler Evans, Nick Way, 1 and 2. Ron Cotta has just moved into third. Michael Brandis and Paul Curry also in good position as the top 9 transfer to the main event.
Another mistake right there by Brandis. Allows Curry to get around.
Curry, number 38.
The fastest guy on the track, though, right now, we were just looking at him, Ron Cotta, turning 56-second lap times. The leaders, right here, we're looking at 58, 57 and a half. So Ron Cotta's got the speed. He just needs to get a better start.
On the last lap, it looks like Nick Way from the Pro Circuit outfit wants to challenge number 45, Tyler.
He's been chipping away about a half a second a lap.
The checkers for Tyler Evans. He had back-to-back top privateer honors, riding 250s in San Diego and Phoenix, making more than $4,000 in the Pace privateer bonus fund. But right now, he is qualified number 1 in our first heat of 125 action from Atlanta. Paul Curry, number 38, a nice ride. Number 27, Michael Brandis, just starting to train. Yes, he won the first round of 125 Eastern action. However, he's had a very sore thumb, very sore wrist, and he's just trying to hold on right now. On the RedShed.com results page, Tyler Evans, Nick Way, Stefan Roncada, Paul Curry, and Michael Brandis are top 5. As we take a look, the top 9, Mark Bernhardt just getting in to qualify for the main event, and Olaf having to go to the last chance qualifier for the 125s. Let's go down to Davey.
All right, Tyler, way to come out firing here at the Georgia Dome. That was way behind you, but it didn't seem to spook you at all.
No, all I got to do is if I get a good start, I know I can run with those guys. It's all about the start. That time I got a good start, and I think my speed's up there, so hopefully I can maybe pull off a win tonight.
All right, we'll look for you in the main.
Thanks a lot.
Only one other time this sport has seen 7 different 125 winners in 7 consecutive races. This year, the year 2000, plus 1973, when Lusk, Gaddis, Huffman, Lawrence, Pichon, Pedersen, and then Henry turned the trick. This year, there are several contenders, including a defending 125 champion who hasn't won yet.
2 seconds got me into the points lead so far. Now I'm looking for a win to open up the gap even further.
I've been staying consistent the first 2 races. Roger and I have all decided that it's about time to step it up and get on the victory podium.
It's been 2 races too long. I've been working really hard, and this weekend is my weekend to win.
2 pretty good races, but I think tonight's the night, and I want to see myself and the Yamaha Troy bike in the top of the podium.
Well, they're going to have to go through me first because I won last week. Feels good. They won't let it go. I'm going to win again tonight, so good luck to them.
Heat number 2 of 125s has the points leader Brock Sellards and Travis Pastrana, number 199. There's number 56, Ryan Clark. Also the Ironman, Jason Thomas, Brandon Jessamine, Kelly Smith, and the defending champion, Ernesto Fonseca. This is a packed group of very talented riders, David.
It's unbelievable. When you split these guys up, there's a good look at Pastrana, the new kid on the block. There's Fonseca with that great big number 1, the sign sideways.
We're almost set to go for our second qualifying round of the 125. Top 9 out of the 6-lap race. Fonseca getting a nice jump.
That was Pastrana just right there on his heels, stood up, feet on the pegs all the way through those first couple corners.
Ernesto Fonseca, though, got the hole shot. It's his first hole shot of the year, and Travis Pastrana is right there behind him. We've got a battle on our hands. Brock Sellards in third. So the defending 125 East champion has to hold off the rookie phenom. And he's got the points leader right behind him.
He just thrown right in with the Sharks in his first season. This 125 class is so good. Even when you split these guys up, it still looks like the main event. These top 3 guys mean business out there. Wouldn't surprise me if these guys all push each other to a faster pace in the first heat.
Oh, he handled the whoops well against the taller Pastrana. Paced it. But Pastrana couldn't take advantage at that point as they go over the finish line jump, completing the first lap. Fonseca out of Costa Rica, the defending 125 Eastern champion, was the first rookie to win a 125 title in his first pro season.
Fonseca starting to inch away just a little bit now. I noticed in practice he went out and was just business. He turned in so many fast laps. He didn't spend much time studying different lines on the track. He's just like, you know what, it's going to get rutted. Lines aren't going to matter till later on anyway. I'm just going to go out there and go fast, set the fast time, and get some confidence. And right now it seems to be working for him.
Number 56 is Ryan Clark from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Demaria Suzuki.
Pastrana chasing Fonseca through that whoop section. The thing that Fonseca is doing there that's a little bit better towards the end is he's timing him. He's jumping 3 and 4 at a time.
Here comes Travis as we take a look at Brock Sellards. Oh, what a three-way battle for the lead now. Fonseca with Pastrana right behind him, and Sellards just waiting for the opportunity.
Oh, I think Sellards wants Travis to know that he's not just going to let him have this second place. He's going to go in there and make it tough.
Brock Sellards gives him a nice push. Hey, it was the other end of the deal in the main event in the first main of the 125 East, where Pastrana landed on Sellards, and they actually crashed a couple of times during that race. Sellards with an amazing ability to come back and take a podium position in third in the first round.
I'll tell you what, Sellards just goes right for the side of the bike right there. I mean, if he'd have kept going straight, that's what we call the classic T-bone. And it was heads up by Travis right there to get his leg up out of the way and let him make that pass fairly clean. And now he knows what is going on in Sellards' head the rest of the night. He may return that favor later on, but I think Travis enjoys that kind of racing.
Anticipating a great finish here in our second qualifying heat. We'll be right back with the checkers flag in a moment.
Hey, honey, welcome to the Suzuki Fest 2000 Deli. Care for a Suzuki motorcycle with $400 free accessories? How about the Intruder LC 1500 and a leather jacket? The Intruder 1400 or 800 go great with a helmet, and you can't miss with the Marauder or Savage 650. It's all good, even financing like 0 down, low APR, and low payments on selected models.
Come into Suzuki Fest 2000 today. Free accessories, great financing. Offers end April 30th.
So, what'll it be?
Drivers don't win all the races for us at Toyota. Sometimes it's an engineer. Sometimes it's a mechanic. And sometimes it's John, who can take half a gram and turn it into a 16th of a car length. Nice going, John.
Thinking about hair loss? Well, now there are more options available to men experiencing hair loss than ever before. Millions of men have already started using them, so what are you waiting for? Call 1-888-MERC35 to learn more about an FDA-approved hair loss treatment and about a special money-saving offer. Or call your doctor to discuss which treatment is best for you. The sooner you make an appointment to see your doctor, the better. Call 1-888-MERC35 to find out more about a clinically proven hair loss treatment and about a special money-saving offer. Stop just thinking about it. Call today. Merck, helping make hair loss history.
Sellards got in front of Travis Pastrana. Now it's 1, 2, 3, a battle against Fonseca. Twice he's come close to passing in the corners the defending champion. What a great race. Pastrana now back to third.
I think Travis is just trying to learn as much as he can, not get in there and bang bars with these guys too much, just try to beat him with his talent. Being able to take a better line somewhere. Jump something these guys can't jump. He's got some things out there up his sleeve, but he's just unable to make it work in traffic. There's coming up to one right now. He's been able to triple this. See what happens. He's going to triple right there.
Oh, Pastrana now moves in front of Sellers. AFMF Honda trying to catch up with the Team Suzuki 125 as they go even Steven into that corner. What speed on the turn. Bar to bar. Right behind Fonseca. Sellers has the inside track. Protects his position. But look at Pastrana's move.
You know, I think Sellers is trying to maybe just irritate Pastrana a little bit, take him out of his rhythm. I think the opposite is happening. I think Travis is getting all excited and pumped, and all that fun he talks about having, he's having it now.
Sellers making a move in the whoops on Fonseca. Little contact, bobbles, and now puts him back into a fight with Pastrana again. The white lap. Final lap underway. This is a roll of the dice, David.
This is the section where Travis is tripling. See if he does it again. Oh, Sellers goes for it that time.
Sellers went for it when he had to protect that number 2 position. Roger DeCoster looking on anxiously as his young rookie. Travis Pastrana has ridden a very smooth race.
Hey, if you ask me,
look at the triple. Triples right over Sellers.
That was a little bit scary. Sellers knew he wasn't going to be able to have the speed. He looked over at Travis. Travis was already committed. That could have been scary, and I think it was smart by Sellers to back out of that, not case that thing. He's just lucky that Travis wasn't following him. Look at Travis.
Here comes Pastrana. Good positioning on the turn. Fonseca, Pastrana. About a tire between the two.
I'll tell you what, all 3 of those guys rode a fantastic race. Fonseca for holding off with all that pressure, Sellers for being so aggressive, and Pastrana, the new kid, just for hanging in there and making it good.
What a race by Ernesto Fonseca, not only getting out in front quickly, but also holding his position, David.
Watch how close this got. Sellers looking over to say, hey, I'm not going to jump this, don't land on me. You got to be committed, you know, before you get to the takeoff, and fortunately, he had just enough space between them where that wasn't a collision.
So Ernesto Fonseca wins his first heat of the year 2000 season after a podium finish in round 2 and a tough start in the first round with an 8th place finish. Fonseca, Pastrana, Sellers, Clark, and Skaggs. Robbie Skaggs in the Husqvarna. Jason Thomas, the Ironman, getting a 6th. Brandon Jessamine, Carlson, Hadsel, all going to the main event for the 125s. Let's go down to Davey.
All right, Ernesto, your first heat race win of the year, and I got to tell you, that was a crazy one. Pastrana and Sellers are right there.
Yeah, I know those guys are riding really good, and I got the start, just rode smart, smooth, no mistakes, and I think that's what I gotta do for 15 laps, and that's what it takes to win. Be consistent and be there.
See you in the main.
Thanks a lot.
These fans here in Atlanta have seen some great racing, and that's the way to see it live. Lots more fun in store as we move on to Daytona and Bike Week. Next on the schedule, then it's on to St. Louis and Minneapolis, Minnesota for the 2nd round of the Vans Triple Crown, which could mean big bucks for David Villeman, who won the first round. May 6th, get set for a spectacular event. Destination Las Vegas, the final round of the year 2000 for Supercross, and for the first time, you'll see Supercross live on TV. In demand, or get it off the dish. Will we have the 8th different winner in 8 rounds of 125 action? It's all coming up next from Georgia.
Loudon Motorsports is proud to announce that they now feature Suzuki motorcycles and ATVs.
They have great products. They have wonderful on-off-road bikes. They've got great four-wheelers that are perfect for anything and everything you need to do around the farm or just playing.
Expanding the business, Loudon Motorsports now carries all the Suzuki Cruisers, sport bikes, motocross bikes, dirt bikes, and all-terrain vehicles. You've got to visit the showroom with all the flashy 2000 model Suzukis, including the GSXR 750 sport bike. Visit Loudon Motorsports and Power Equipment in Leesburg on Catoctin Circle.
I'm Catherine Banning.
And who's heading you off to?
Yours.
My girlfriend made me go to Cancun. I could not watch NHL tonight. When I got back, my knowledge was smaller. I hate Cancun.
Toyota Trucks presents EA Sports Supercross is being brought to you by Honda Motorcycles. Get great deals on customs and gold wings during the road to savings. And by Dunlop Motorcycle Tires. Traction, speed, power. For everyone with the hunger. Dunlop, superiority. Welcome back to Atlanta, Georgia. We're getting set for the 125. Let's go down now trackside to Davey Combs.
I'm down here on the starting gate with last week's 125 winner, Stefan Rancada. Stefan, some wild action so far tonight. Do you think you can get out here in the main event and win again?
Yeah, you know, I saw that second heat on the 125, and it's pretty wide back there, so that's going to be a good race tonight, you know, and I feel pretty good. I had one of the best lap times, so I got a good start, get in the lead, and try to ride the race as far as I can. Should be okay.
Good luck.
Thanks, dude.
And taking a look at the Dunlop points race. It has the top 5 riders separated by only 11 points. Fonseca, the defending champion, is only 11 points out of first with Brock Sellers, who has not won one yet, but has taken 2 second places, leads by a mere 4 points over Michael Brandis and 5 over Stefan Rancada. Our Suzuki 125 grid shows our heat winners Ernesto Fonseca and Tyler Evans, Travis Pastrana, Nick Way, Brock Sellers, the points leader. Stefan Rancada, last week's winner. Ryan Clark and Paul Curry had impressive qualifying rounds, as did Robbie Skaggs. Michael Brandis, once a winner this year in the opening round of 125 East action. Jason Thomas also in there, and a local from Kennesaw, Georgia, is Matt Shue. Brandon Jesselman gets fast starts. We're almost set for our main event. From the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, Georgia, the 125s are revving it up, ready to go. The 30-second board has been up for some time. When it goes sideways, the excitement will reign. They're revving it up now. It's gone sideways. The 125 main event is off and running. That's Ernesto Fonseca, our Yahoo Sports Whole Shot Award winner. 500 additional bucks goes to number 1, Ernesto Fonseca. The points leader, Brock Sellers, right behind him with Rancada in 3rd. Good position for Nick Way, number 23 in 4th. The battle is up front with Fonseca and Brock Sellers. Neither up front riders have won yet. Oh, what a nice pass. Number 26, Rancada, last week's winner. He wants 2 in a row.
He means business. And Art, as you know, we were watching practice this afternoon, and I said, I think Rancada's on a roll. He's got the confidence, all the strength, and then he crashed in this loop section right here. I thought he may have hurt his wrist, but the way he came out and rode in that heat race, he had the fastest lap time of anybody in the 125s up to this point. He's going to get a chance to prove it right now.
Pastrana went down and is in 11th place right now. Let's take a look at it now on the left side of your screen.
Well, he's just jumping over to the edge, trying to work his way through traffic. He was actually in about 11th place when that happened. He was about ready to save it until that rider clipped his front wheel and he went down. He had gotten a horrible start and was just outside the top 10 when that happened. Now
he's in 18th, David.
Yeah, he's got his work cut out.
Up front, though, it's a battle between Yamaha and Troy teammates. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Fonseca, number 1, the defending 125 East champion. And look at Rancada. Back and forth we go. What a 125 main event from Georgia.
You see Fonseca that time deciding, I think maybe I'll just cruise to the inside of this corner, not knowing where Rancada was, just trying to play it smart. Those guys get by themselves, they'll go out and use the momentum off that big berm. He doesn't have that luxury now with Rancada this close.
Rancada, after that spectacular crash in the qualifying last week, came on with a brilliant victory, staging a wonderful ride for his 4th career 125 win. Right now, it looks like he's just sizing up the situation. Remember Fonseca, though, the qualifying heat, David, was able to hold off the pressure well.
Now he's pretty composed.
Fonseca. And look at that, Roncada squeezes through on the inside. Back comes Fonseca to retake the lead. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he's just all business. I think if you went down the starting line and took everyone's pulse, they'd all be somewhere up around 180. And if you took Fonseca, it's probably about 70. The guy just doesn't really get that excited, and it really works for him in situations like this.
In Indianapolis, remember when Roncada tried to pass Fonseca. Fonseca was slipping, put his foot out, and got it caught. And Fonseca goes down. Roncada takes the easy route right now. What a break for Roncada, number 26. I was going to say, though, they rubbed together and took each other out of 2nd and 3rd in Indianapolis, and they were pretty careful not to do that again. Brock Sellards in 2nd place now with Nick Way in 3rd.
Well, I was about to say, for Brock Sellards, he really needs to stay in touch with these Yamaha Troy guys and not let them get any momentum. Remember last year they were running 1-2 several times, and as soon as you do that, teammates, you start to feel that energy, and no one can come in there and penetrate that zone that they're in. Watch what happens here. Fonseca leading off the finish line jump. He's going to land, get on the brakes. He actually jumped almost out to the bottom onto the flat. That's what kind of ruined his traction. Kept his finger on the clutch, didn't let the bike stall, and that probably saved him about 4 positions.
So Fonseca is now in 5th behind Michael Brandes as we take a look at our leader, Stefan Roncada. He lives about an hour south of Lyon, France. And here's our 2nd place rider, not that far away, Brock Sellards. But Roncada's so fast.
That particular lap, Sellards and Way, 2nd and 3rd, jumped that triple. And Roncada didn't do it, and it's surprising me. He's able to not jump that triple each lap, and he doesn't lose any time.
There's Brock Sellards, a good shot of the FMF rider. Started the season in the 250s out west, had some impressive rides. It was not unusual to see him go right from the qualifying round into the main event against other 250 riders. Here's the battle for 4th. Michael Brandes, number 27, goes flying. Bouncing off the bike was Fonseca.
Just got out of the way in time for, you can see the dirt all over his shoulder for Brandon Jessamine coming through. Scared both those guys.
The Fonseca moves up another notch into 4th behind Nick Way. Check it out again.
Watch number 27. You can tell he just didn't look like he had enough speed getting into that thing by this body language, and definitely came up short.
Number 44, Jessamine, just barely avoiding him. Okay, our leader is Stefan Roncada. Might he become the first 125 rider on the year to win 2 wins? We'll be right back to find out.
Now, get the biggest enlistment bonus the Army has ever offered. As much as $20,000. Plus up to $50,000 to pay for college. For your future, for your country's future. Call today. 1-800-USA-ARMY.
Applicants wanted. High-tech jobs. Window offices. No experience necessary.
What would you do if you didn't have to make a mortgage payment for 90 days? Pay off those holiday bills. Take a winter vacation. Eliminate every credit card balance you have. Pay off your car loan. Superior Bank wants to work with you, giving you 90 days free from your mortgage payment. That's right, no payments for 90 days. If you're a homeowner, call Superior Direct at 1-888-678-7777 now and hear how you can take advantage of this limited-time home loan program.
Soccer fans, get ready for a whole new season of MLS action. Your favorite teams and your favorite stars are back for more incredible world-class soccer. When you order MLS ESPN Shootout, you'll get up to 100 regular season and playoff matches you can't see anywhere else. So bring the action home. Order MLS ESPN Shootout now. Call your cable company, DirecTV at 1-800-DirecTV or Dish Network at 1-800-333-DISH.
Welcome back to the Georgia Dome, where more than 60,000 fans might see a string of 7 different 125 winners broken. Stefan Roncada is leading. He won last week.
He's in the driver's seat right now in this series. He's got the momentum. He's got everyone a little bit intimidated, especially if he can stay up and pull this one off, make it 2 in a row.
Yeah, it's really rough on this Georgia track, let me tell you. Guys are banging bodies and bikes all over. Look at Brandis.
Well, he just held his line.
And he leaves someone in the wake. Looked like Doug DeHaan out of Ontario, Canada. Our leader so far has not made a mistake, and he's not pressured. Brock Sellards in second, Nick Way in third.
As a matter of fact, through that corner when Fonseca went down right in front of him, he was pretty quick reflexes to dodge him and his bike. Not get caught up in that.
We're at the halfway mark of this race, the 125 main event from Atlanta, Georgia. Roncada already with 1 win, that 1 podium. Has not had a hole shot this year, but has led 15 laps coming into this race. All 15 last week.
Now his lap times right now are about a 56. And second place Sellers is running about 57. So he seems to be able to take about the half to 3/4 of a second a lap away from Sellers, points leader. Yeah, I don't think at this point Sellers is starting to ride careful.
He's just getting around Matt Shue from Kennesaw, Georgia, one of the locals here. The fans are cheering for. But Roncada is moving flawlessly right now.
See if he triples this. Now, I think it's getting rutted, and it's a little bit of a risk, so he figures, hey, if I don't lose that much time, might as well just play it safe.
Travis Pastrana has come all the way back to about, 7th place. And here is 199.
Imagine what would have happened had he not gone down. That the bad start was something I think he could have overcome, but crashing and on top of that, he lost way too much time.
2 4th places in the 2 previous rounds, and it's turning into a learning process for Travis Pastrana. Maybe the best thing that could happen to this young phenom. Have some tough times of it right at the beginning.
Yeah, if it all comes too easy, too quick, you get a little bit spoiled, and somewhere down the road, you got to pay a price.
Well, Ricky Carmichael, David, in his first 125 Supercross year, didn't jump right in and win it all.
Nope.
That's for sure. Here's our leader, Stefan Roncada.
Still clicking off those 56-second lap times. The fastest on the track. Everybody, including Pastrana, who's trying as hard as he can to work his way back into contention. Everyone running 57s, and Roncada able to just better that a little bit, doing like Jeremy does in the 250 class.
We're 2/3 of the way to the 125 checkers. Stefan Roncada in command. Sellards looking for his 3rd runner-up finish.
Rated E for everyone. Supercross 101. Oops. Whoops. Superman. Medic. This power band popping on the pipe handlebar to handlebar lesson has been brought to you by Supercross 2000 and the letters EA Sports. It's in a game.
Welcome to egghead.com. Going sideways. Folks, this is the Cybervator. It guides you through the computer store inside your computer. 11th floor, where the biggest computer brands are always on sale. Virtually speaking. Going diagonal, auctions hard to find items, and the Love Lounge? Oops, someone's mouse is wandering. Egghead.com, the computer store inside your computer.
The world's top pros are back with the drama, the thrills, and the passion of tennis on ESPN and ESPN2. This week, Tennis Masters Series, Indian Wells. Coverage begins Monday at 3 on ESPN.
Welcome back to Atlanta, Georgia, where Stefan Roncada is looking to break the parade of 7 different 125 riders winning in 7 rounds here in the year 2000. This would be his 2nd consecutive win if he can hold on, David Bailey.
When you watch him, I mean, look at the timing. Puts the bike right where he wants to put it. And right now, he's in a little bit of a cruise mode. Now he's just matching the lap times of everyone else, so how the heck are they going to catch up? You know, and he's riding a very comfortable pace. Looking over at his mechanic, coming down the straightaway, you can see him getting that signal. He knows he's got a good enough cushion that he's just got to ride smart the rest of the race, not take any big chances, and it should be his. Along with all the momentum in this class. Look at him jump through those loops like that.
If Roncada holds his position and Sellards holds second place for the third consecutive 125 East round, Sellards his lead would drop to 2 with Roncada behind him.
Well, like I said before, I don't think Sellards is already thinking about championship mode and riding careful. He's trying to go as fast as he can and get the win, but Roncada just got a little bit more. Now just look how close Fonseca's gotten to Nick Way. Tripling through there makes up a little bit more time. Way knows he's there now. He's been getting the sign, I guarantee it. And he can just glance over out of a corner and see him.
Nick Way with 2 consecutive 5th place finishes. He came back from 14th at Indianapolis. Had a good 5th place race here last year, but looks to top that now in 3rd.
I believe it's important for Way right here. A big boost for him to hold off Fonseca the remainder of this race. Not going to be easy, but he's really got to do it to maintain that edge the rest of the series.
You saw Roncada just get the white flag. He is 1 lap away from his 2nd consecutive victory and certainly has the momentum in the 125 East.
And you know what's happened is you're watching Way and Fonseca battle each other a little bit. They've closed the gap on Sellards. Sellards is not that far ahead of Way right there. You see him go by.
Yep. Sellards got a battle on his hands.
Now you get comfortable in the last couple of laps. You look over your shoulder. You don't see anybody. You figure, I can cruise a little bit. But he decided to cruise right about the time that Fonseca pushed Way up there. He's enjoying himself this final lap.
He's having fun.
Tyler Evans about ready to get lapped. I have to feel something must have happened to him because he won his heat race and has been looking sharp lately.
Wisely gets out of the way for the leader. As the checkers, he can see it. Roncada crosses up and takes the checkered flag. Well, you got to say that Roncada was ready for that one, because when all the contenders who hadn't won a race yet were saying how they were ready to become the 8th different winner in 125 action this year, Roncada says they had to go through me. And they couldn't catch him here tonight.
Right there at the end of the race, something happened to Brandon Jessamine. Must have gone down. That moved Pastrana up 1 more spot. So he salvages a 5th place after a horrible start and going down. So he's still in contention.
He's a jovial guy to begin with.
You remember last year he was in tears with a wrist injury.
Right.
I mean, what a contrast.
A tremendous feeling. Let's go down to Davey Combs.
Well, Stefan, you said before this race they had to go through you, and there you go. You did it again. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm so happy right now. I don't know what to say. My Yamaha Ultra is working great. The mechanic did a great job. He's the best. I had a good start. Took the lead. I was okay, I just to crash, but you know it's a race. I'm happy I won tonight. Yeah, it's good. So happy.
You know, you're the first rider this year to win 2 races. That means you're pretty much, you know, if we could have a dominant 125 rider at this point, it's you.
Well, you know, I'm training my ass off to be, so I want to be really bad, so it has to happen. I want it so bad, and the bikes are great. Yamaha Ultra is doing a great job. I want to thank Kiro, my trainer, Alan Gerke, from Mixer Pro Fitness. Without him, I couldn't do it. You know, Mark Peters on my great track in my backyard. My manager, Kiro, Dean, and Phil, and Flipper, and the other guys that put this together is great. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Woo.
His 5th career victory. The streak ends as the domination of Stefan Roncada is shown here on our Suzuki results page. Brock Sellards in 2nd. As we go down to the top 10, Brandis ended up in 10th position. A tremendous 125 race. It saw Fonseca, the defending champion, hit the dirt. Will the 250 notables break Jeremy McGrath's win streak? Or will he become Yamaha's all-time Supercross winner 250-wise? We'll find out when we come back.
I've been racing since I was 3. I'm a pilot. I like to fly a little bit.
No matter what, we want a Honda up front.
I just feel like I'm on the right team and on the right place. Je m'appelle Sébastien Tortelli. Je cours pour le team Honda.
I guess you could say I was just a little bit hairier than the other kids. They said I was hairy like a bear, and then it was Yogi Bear, and now it's just Yogi.
Try not to think about who's behind you. You know, you try to always race in front of you.
You feel like you can be free.
I'm off to the post office again, Kelly. Hey, what's that?
Simply Postage. It's the complete postage solution for small businesses like yours and mine. With Simply Postage, you can buy and print postage right from your computer, anytime, day or night. And it's so easy to use, anybody can do it.
Really?
Want to mail a letter? Simply Postage automatically prints self-adhesive stamps. And it gives you accurate weights and postage rates for any class of mail. Priority, first class, international, even express mail. And with Simply Postage, you only pay what you should, never more.
So no more trips to the post office, no more waiting in line, no more mistakes? Simply Postage really does make postage simple.
Why do you think they call it Simply Postage?
For just $49.95, you get easy-to-use software on CD-ROM, stamp printer, and self-adhesive stamps. Call now and also get $50 in free postage. Available in both PC and Mac formats for just $9.95 a month. Order Simply Postage. Call the number on your screen right now.
Welcome back to Atlanta, Georgia. While we were away, Jason Thomas in the LCQ flipped over the berm. A radical crash. He was on his way to his first checkered flag, even though it was the last chance qualifier. That left it up to Larry Ward and Grayson Goodman. It was Larry Ward, the veteran Kawasaki rider, winning it for his first checkered flag of the season. So the LCQ Suzuki results page shows Ward and Grayson Goodman going on to the main event. Well, it's a good thing Ward gets into the money. This is a wrenchhead.com SFX Super Fun where the purse is boosted to over $105,000. 25 grand to the winner. Now, even 4 through 20 gets an extra $1,000 on top of what they earned in position in the race. Taking a look at the Honda 250 lineup. Jeremy McGrath, the 6-time champion. LaRocco won here in '95. Carmichael got his first 125 win here in Atlanta, Georgia. David Villeman, the only other winner on the season. Kevin Windham, Damon Huffman on the podium last week. Tim Ferry, Sebastian Tortelli, second last week. Outstanding semi-winners. Isaiah Johnson, Michael Craig, John Dowd, Sebastian Waugh, Lewis, McCormick, Nelson, Voss, Schnell, Neese, Ward, and Grayson Goodman making it to the main event. Oh, the suspense is right now starting to build on the parade lap. Take a look at 934, David.
Well, check out his handlebars. This is a new trend as some of these guys are starting. Carmichael, LaRocco, Villeman, they all run their handlebars so high, the ends are actually turned up. He's got both his front brake and clutch lever about level. If you look at Mike LaRocco's bike, he's got his clutch lever. Looks like he crashed and bent the thing. They didn't have time to put it back down. It's getting higher and higher. Out in the West, we see Shea Bentley on the 125. He's doing the same thing. And I wonder about it. Obviously, he's comfortable with it, but I wonder if that doesn't mess him up a little bit on the start, because when you're leaned over the front end to keep the weight on the front wheel and you got your elbows up, how can you reach that thing being up so high?
Many of the riders want us to send our best wishes along to Jimmy Button in his recuperating effort. He walked 450 feet with his walker yesterday. And, boy, what encouraging signs we see from Jimmy Button there in Scottsdale, Arizona. The 30-second board is up. Guys are making sure that their goggles are clear, as this red Georgia clay can pepper you like bullets.
Now, think about this. Larry Ward has had about 10 minutes to rest, get the bike ready after that last chance qualifier. I guarantee you he's warmed up and knows the track better than anyone else. Think about the guys like Jeremy that qualified right out of the heat. They haven't seen this track in a while.
Who will get the Yahoo Sports whole shot of $1,000 extra? It's sideways. They're revving. They're off. Damon Huffman, who got on the podium in 3rd place last week, got the whole shot. But right there is Jeremy McGrath and Ricky Carmichael. McGrath to the inside. Huffman doesn't want to give it up. Carmichael to the inside to try to get into 2nd. Does.
Well, this is set up great. Right behind these 3 guys, you got Villeman right there doubling into the corner. Wyndham also a pretty decent start. He's got him in sight.
He's in 6th. Can they stay with Jeremy as the thousands of flashbulbs pop here in the Georgia Dome?
I think Carmichael had the speed to do it last week, but he crashed in the 1st corner and didn't get a chance to prove it. Now he will. I think they shipped the dirt for this track from Carmichael's house. It's so similar to what he rides on.
Jeremy McGrath, Ricky Carmichael. And now David Villeman in 3rd, with Huffman slipping back to 4th.
Villeman coming up a little short on that triple where he crashed in the heat race, but his long body soaked it up a little bit better that time.
What are we seeing in Jeremy McGrath now? His strategy usually has been busted as best you can and get away.
He will. He's focused so much on the beginning of this race. Get into the lead if you don't get the start. If you get the start, disappear. Don't even let anyone study anything that you're doing and ruin their confidence. If you're riding your best and a guy's pulling away from you, you start looking back going, all right, well, let me just make sure I keep these guys off me. Forget catching that guy.
He's already 4 seconds ahead of 934. David Villeman in 2nd place.
Wyndham apparently has gone down, Art. So he's circulating around in last place.
So McGrath, Carmichael, Villeman, Huffman, and Tortelli are top 5. And the woes continue for Kevin Wyndham.
Yeah, last week he went down, but I still think I was encouraged, as a matter of fact, by seeing the way that he charged the end of the race. That had been a tough one for him, and I don't think he really meant to have to crash and come back. I don't think he wants to turn that into a habit, but he's definitely got to come from a long ways back this time.
Let's go down to trackside. Davey Combs.
Hey, take a look at this. This is Mike Craig's bike, a DNF right before the end of the 1st lap. You're trying to figure out what happened to Kevin Wyndham. Well, Craig wrecked right in front of him, and Wyndham ran into the back of him. Craig's out of the race. Wyndham dead last.
Too bad for both guys. That was obviously a pretty tremendous impact. It takes so much strength. I wish I had some sort of figure to give you some telemetry on what it takes to break those handlebars, but it's not easy to do.
Our leader, Jeremy McGrath, just simply pulling away.
Look at that. Just pops up into that corner, makes it look easy. He's reaching up to readjust that clutch lever, take the play out of it.
In 7 years, he's placed at least in the top 4 every year here in Atlanta. He's looking for his 4th win in 5 years of the Georgia Dome. And here's David Villeman.
He's trying to ride his best, put in his best laps, but he's just not able to make any ground. LaRocco starting to charge up, but once again, he's having to charge up.
It's a battle for 7th with Larry Ward in 6th.
I just keep our eye on LaRocco in the last 5 laps of this race. Look how strong he is through there. He'll come out of this corner and, well, it looked like Larry closed the line a little bit, but he normally would triple that.
Ward having to go to the last chance qualifier to get this opportunity in the main. LaRocco now looking for the pass. He makes the pass. McGrath, our leader. RC still in 2nd.
Carmichael had this opportunity in the heat race to follow him around, try to study him. He's staying closer this time. Still not close enough. I mean, for Jeremy to know he has this lead, almost 3 seconds now, he just goes into a pace that he knows he can maintain, and they'll never catch him. At least they haven't been able to so far.
Carmichael's looking very smooth.
You know, he looks really aggressive on top of that smoothness. It's kind of hard to make sense of, but I think actually
That was Kyle Lewis in our picture that they were taking the bike off the tough blocks.
Yeah, that was at the end of the straightaway. These guys are approaching and got out of shape and went completely off over the top of the berm. That's what the flags are there for. Anyway, I think Carmichael he's gotten a little bit of smoothness into his style that started off a little bit like Pastrana's. Was just people were going, boy, if he could just tone it down a little bit. Well, he's done that, but he's still been able to keep all that speed, that explosiveness. That was a great save.
But it allowed Villeman to come up and take second place. David Villeman in second place with the Yamahas 1 and 2.
That seemed to rattle Ricky a little bit, and he better get it back together pretty quick because number 20, Huffman, is breathing down his neck.
Will the Ho Shooters, Huffman, get onto the podium for the second straight week? The answer is coming up.
Price buying only at Templeton Dodge Olds in Tysons.
Stop getting stuck in the snow. A Durango from Templeton, the area's #1 Durango dealer, will get you where you want to go.
Templeton has over 100 Durangos available. 4x2s, 4x4s, our signature two-tone Durangos, and more. And no haggle one-price buying makes it easy.
That's right. No haggling, no negotiating. Just the Durango you want at the lowest possible price right from the start. No one else has it.
Templeton Dodge Olds in Tysons.
Thanks to your support, your local Maid Brigade has been steadily growing since 1987. We know your time is precious, so you can count on Maid Brigade to be there when scheduled. We also know how important a clean, fresh-smelling home is, so your satisfaction is always guaranteed. At Maid Brigade, our team stand behind the quality and reliability of each and every cleaning, and no long-term contract is required. Our success is a result of hard work and honest dealings. Maid Brigade, because you have other things to do.
Tonight on ESPN at 6 Sports Center. Then Championship Week rolls on. At 7, the MCC Championship. At 9, the Sun Belt Final. Then Baseball Tonight opens the season. On ESPN2 at 7 RPM tonight. At 7:30, Women's College Hoops, the Big East Championship. Followed at 9:30 by the Men's Mid-Continent Conference Final. And on ESPN Classic at 8, look back at the greats of the gridiron. Then at 9, it's Sugar Ray's Hit Parade, followed by Evel Knievel on Wide World of Sports. Do you have all the ESPN networks?
Now, Carmichael was the one putting the heat on him. No, not a lot of heat, but it was just there enough to bother him until this. Started into whoops, his feet came off the pegs. Looked like that was the first problem from the seat hitting him in the butt. Great save. And the only way you can save that is a grip on the bike with your knees so you can land back on the pegs, and you use that clutch. And every time your foot gets back to that rear brake, step on it a little bit and try to slow down. What a great recovery right there. I think in a couple of years ago, or even last year on the 250, he'd have gone down. Yeah. That would have been a crash.
But Ricky Carmichael learning on that 250 as Jeremy McGrath. There's Damon Huffman just getting back up as he slid out. He was in 4th position at the time.
That was right before the whoops, and both Tortelli and Mike LaRocco went around. It
so
looks
he'll
like
put him in 6th.
Huffman was pointing something.
So in recapping, it's Jeremy McGrath, David Villeman, Ricky Carmichael, Mike LaRocco, Sebastian Tortelli, and then Damon Huffman. Dowd has moved up to 7th as we check out our leader. He's got a pretty good fence right behind him. One of his best friends, Grayson Goodman, but I'm not sure he's going to need it.
No, I don't think he's going to need it. And, I think Grayson's above that. It's not, if the title was on the line and you got best friends and you may have talked about it, perhaps Grayson could go a little wide and be like, oh, sorry, I thought you were going to go in, and just get in the way a little bit. I don't think we'll see that right now. Jeremy still, there's that same straightaway again. It'll look like the lap before, the same perfect timing. Gets into the corner, same exact line. He's a machine. And he looks over on the straightaway. The guy's coming the other way going, yeah, I'm winning again. Hard work and focus. Good shot of Randy.
Randy Lawrence, yeah. Jeremy McGrath's mechanic.
Back through the whoops another time. He keeps the front wheel just hitting the tops. Rarely see the bike drop all the way down in him unless he starts to time him, which he did there towards the end because it was getting worn down a little bit more.
Let's go to Davey.
You know, I was listening to you guys talk about Jeremy. I got to ask you, David, as a former Supercross champion, how in the world can that guy focus when he's carrying the #1 plate? He's the guy in front of the opening ceremonies. He's the guy on the commercials. Everyone in the 60,000-seat stadium wants his autograph. How in the world does that guy just keep coming up and coming up and coming up?
You know, it's a great question. I think we all are kind of have our own opinions of it. I think Jeremy, it's like an addiction for him. He loves to be in that position. He takes great responsibility, and I watch him sign autographs and talk to kids. He loves being in the limelight and being able to make a difference. And to him, he's just doing what he likes to do. This is just fun for him, and it's a lot more fun if he wins. So he does whatever it takes during the week necessary so he can keep on winning. He's got great parents, and you know, he's a special individual. There's no doubt about that.
So Jeremy McGrath with more than a comfortable lead. He'd have to have a bike break or something like that to lose this one.
That's the first little bitty mistake I've seen all night. He overjumped that triple a little bit. He'd much rather overjump it than underjump it. You saw what happened to Villeman. Another little mistake there. They didn't decide to jump into that corner that time, but now his lead over Villeman has grown. They can afford to take it a little easy through some sections.
Got the whole straightaway of the track on Villeman.
Yeah, the track, this is not to say that the track designers didn't do a great job of putting it together. I mean, they threw a lot of lime in here to try to harden up the faces of these jumps. They wouldn't rut out. But this kind of soil wears down. You see Jeremy moving over out of that middle groove where the rut is, and he doesn't have to deal with that. Start to have to pick a lot more lines. He talked about that earlier in the show, that you're going to have to be patient. He wouldn't be able to use the same line for very long. He's really skilled at being able to figure out where the next best line is going to develop and find it before everybody else.
Less than 5 laps to go for Jeremy McGrath, who's gunning for his 6th victory. It would be win number 65 on his career. About an 8.1 second lead on David Villeman, a 17.3 second lead on Ricky Carmichael.
When Suzuki introduced the original 4-stroke DR350 and dual sport 350, it rocked motorcycling. Now, it's happening all over again. Introducing the all-new DRZ400 and DRZ400S from Suzuki. 4-stroke thunder. On-road or off.
If you have thinning hair, you can get this hair loss research update free by calling 1-800-HAIR-CLUB now. I could control the way my body looks, but not my hair. I was very confused about what to do when I started losing my hair. I didn't know where to start. I was looking for some real answers, and I got them from Hair Club's latest hair loss research update. It gave me the facts that I needed to make the right decision about my thinning hair. Now that I have my hair back, I'm glad I made that call. You can get this hair loss research update free by calling 1-800-HAIR-CLUB now.
The man in the box must accept responsibility for his action. Was it foolish or necessary? When he skates back to the bench, will his teammates tap him on the pads, or will they look in the opposite direction? Because in that one instant, the man in the box made a decision for all of them, and he must deal with the consequences. The NHL on ESPN. This is the game.
We're back in the Georgia Dome. Round 8 of EA Sports Supercross. Our leader, who else? Jeremy McGrath. He's on his way to just leading every lap for the last 4 races. Mike LaRocco's gone from 12th to 4th. Wyndham has gone from last to 6th place behind him. But no challenge to our leader as we take a look at a battle back in the pack. John Dowd. Damon Huffman, number 20. Dowd and Larry Ward.
Huffman was looking good. He got the start he needed to get. He was in contention with those guys, could see what they're doing. He got into their groove, and when he fell, he just kind of let some of the air out, and then now he's been getting pressure. Wyndham just passed him a lap ago. Move up another spot. A great ride for Kevin, who was last. He's all the way back up to 6th now. This is the battle developing behind him. Guys like Dowd, Larry Ward with all that experience, you really can't relax if you're Damon Huffman.
Well, it's good to see Damon Huffman with an aggressive riding style.
He's been picking it up little by little. It's hard, you know, if something happens in your career, an injury or whatever, especially the one he had, it takes everything out of you. You got to build it all back up.
White flag for Jeremy McGrath. 1 lap away from 80 straight laps leading 250 Supercross.
That's domination. And he said he'd like to let these guys think about that a little bit over the week break they get.
Jeremy's going to use that time, I think, to get back into his conditioning program after the flu bug hit him pretty hard. He wants to get ready for the motocross-like track at Daytona, which he says a win there was one of his big thrills. The smiley face from Randy Lawrence as McGrath goes by the mechanics area.
I bet that made Jeremy smile.
Yeah.
It has to. You know, he doesn't have to worry about Billerman breathing down his neck right here. He can look at those things and soak it up.
McGrath, the turn. The checkers are waiting for him. Jeremy McGrath becomes the winningest rider in Supercross Yamaha history. His 21st victory on a Yamaha. And there's 934, David Villeman, the only other rider this year to score a victory that comes in over at second place.
Very bumpy for Supercross suspension, and so it's why we get tired very easy. And but the track is very fun, and it's more like an outdoor track than a Supercross.
They're all looking at this young man, Jeremy McGrath. This unique Daytona track makes the crews almost totally redo the bikes for the regularly enclosed Supercross tracks. Team Chaparral Yamaha scheduled extra testing sessions nearby during this week. To prep for this week's Daytona Supercross, Team Chaparral Yamaha decided that a little extra testing was in order for the men in blue to prepare for the tough motocross-style Daytona track.
Actually, we get pretty lucky because we have Rich Hughes' track here that we get to ride for 2 days. And it's actually a little more extreme than what Daytona will be. It's deeper sand. And basically what you're going to do to change the bike is Jeremy usually finds a setup he's pretty happy with, and he doesn't really change much. Even like the front tire that he uses, the same one he used in Atlanta 2 weeks ago, we used here on the sand track today because he just likes the way it feels. For Jeremy, the things we'll change on the engine is just try to get a little bit more power out of the engine. We've had to lighten up on the power a little bit because the normal indoor Supercross tracks are really tacky, and he has a tendency to wheelie on the start. And we've had to give it a little bit less power so that he can get better starts. And he would rather have a little bit more power, but if you can't get the start well, it's kind of a situation that you got to give and take.
Yeah, Daytona's kind of really confusing, actually. It's, I mean, it's tough to get the bike working here because it's only one time a year. We don't have anything like it. And you get square holes, you get some hard pack, you get some loops with a lot of grooves in them. And for me, basically, I, soften my forks a little, soften my rear quite a bit, and run it.
Although it's a Supercross, Daytona is considered more like an outdoor national with a 30-rider field, the hot Florida weather, and the rough, choppy course. This is all translated into a different type of winner. 6 former Supercross champions have never won here. So why would a 3-time Daytona winner and a 6-time Supercross champion feel he needs extra preparation?
The track's really rough. No one ever said I could win the race. And, it's kind of been a motivational point to prove the critics wrong. But I don't mind a rough track now. I really like it. I'm plenty strong, and, Daytona's been a good race for me.
We're getting set for heat number 3 now, and off and running with Jeremy McGrath, David Huffman, Sebastian Tortelli, Heath Floss, Kevin Klein, and it's Jeremy McGrath. But look out on the inside. Kevin Klein. And Tortelli now starting to make a move toward Jeremy McGrath.
Tortelli needed to get off right behind McGrath here, Art. He really needed to do the best start he could, even ahead of him if possible.
Our shot from themonster.com Bill Blimp as Jeremy McGrath tries to secure the lead against Sebastian Tortelli. Don't forget now in the 250s, the 1 through 5 in each qualifying heat advance directly to the main event. Then they'll have a semifinal round where the top 6 gain entrance to the main event. Out of the LCQ, the 250s, it is then the first 3 bikes across the finish line. Rounding out a 30-rider gate here at Daytona. Most unusual sight to see 30 bikes coming off that gate.
Take a look at Tortelli right here. He's starting to lose just inches to McGrath, which is a bad sign in the first lap. He's got to stay as close as possible. Now, I talked about Tortelli earlier being one of the guys like LaRocco or even David Villemin. You just heard him talk about how much this is an outdoor track, and Tortelli is the man outdoors. So he really needs to stay with McGrath and bother him a little bit, study, learn as much as he can, and let Jeremy know, hey, I am on your pace. I'll be there in the main event.
Tortelli explaining to us earlier that he was very surprised his first year at Daytona last year. He expected more sand. Heath Voss goes flying right behind number 21, Sebastian Tortelli. And the bike's trying to avoid him in the whoop section as Tortelli, though, holding a steady beam. There's Heath Voss getting back and trying to restart.
Just behind Tortelli. He was actually hanging in there pretty good. Voss looked great in practice this morning, and he's one of the stronger riders that does well outdoors, and this track seems to suit his style. He was looking great until he fell there.
Leading privateer on the Supercross series and picks up a lot of bonus money in the privateer bonus fund.
Look at Jeremy. He just does things right. You know, the guy will make mistakes here and there, but he conceals them so well, no one really notices, and he wheelies over the right bumps, chooses the right lines, gets the start when he needs to get it. He holds off guys when he needs to hold them off. He just doesn't show any weaknesses. And right now, if Tortelli can close the gap a little bit, he'll expose one. That is, the McGrath's pace isn't quite fast enough to be able to run away and hide like normal.
Damon Huffman has moved into third as we check out Randy Lawrence. Randy Lawrence along with Steve Butler. Major responsibilities, of course, are to get that #1 bike ready for every race.
He's doing a pretty darn good job so far, I'd say, because whenever he needs to get that start, they seem to work on the bike during the week and figure it out. I mean, they may just go out and practice starts all day if that's what it takes, because Jeremy knows how to ride the bike the rest of the way.
Jeremy clocking laps at 128.
Well, that's quite a bit. Look at that. Wow. Just about hit the hay bale there coming down over that last jump, but that's a huge line. He did that earlier in practice, turned that into a triple-triple. He just showed Tortelli.
Tortelli trying to hang with him, and here's Damon Huffman, our third-place rider. Former 2-time 125 Western champion. Won the inaugural U.S. Open at Las Vegas, and Damon Huffman is riding well through those woods.
Yeah, not the best start, but he was able to work his way into third. It's a distant third, but still, he's got a pretty good pace going, and he's just learned the track, try to get a good gate position for the main, and run with these guys.
So as Jeremy McGrath leads our third qualifying heat for the 250s here at Daytona. We'll have more Supercross Daytona Bike Week 2000 when we return.
Awaited sport bike ever made. The Ninja ZX-12R.
The King brothers, separated at birth. George King went to a family that subscribed to fishing magazines. James's family subscribed to the Wall Street Journal. 28 years later, George lives with his parents, while his brother James started a B2B web company and went public with a record first-day pop. Food for thought, especially since you can get 13 weeks of the Wall Street Journal for just 57 cents a day. That's 25% off the regular rate. Call 800-469-1600. That's 800-469-1600 for the Wall Street Journal.
Hey, welcome to the Suzuki Fest 2000 Deli. Care to try a new Suzuki motorcycle with $400 free accessories? I suggest the Katana 750 or 600 and a helmet. The Bandit 1200 and 600 are house favorites and go great with leather jackets. Today's special is the GS 500E with a side of gloves and a helmet. Everything's good, even the financing, like 0 down, low APR, and low payments on selected models.
Come into Suzuki Fest 2000 today. Free accessories, great financing. Offers end April 30th.
All right, so what do you like?
Back to Supercross at Daytona's Bike Week 2000. Jeremy McGrath leading our third qualifier for the 250s as Jeremy McGrath, Tortelli, Huffman, Schnell, and Krein. Looks like they'll cap it off that way, but Jeremy McGrath has had his own way here. Tortelli giving him a little push, but unable to show him a wheel.
Yeah, I thought Tortelli actually